everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Freya if you're new here. And today we're going to be doing a really beautiful flowy yin-yang class. So we're going to start with a bit of vinyasa and then we're going to move into some beautiful yin poses. This class is for all levels, but I just really encourage you to listen to your body. If you need to come down into child's pose at any point, or even just rest in downward facing dog, that's totally fine. The only thing you're going to need for this practice is your mat, or you can even do this on the grass, at the beach, wherever you are. So we're just going to get started in a comfortable seat. I really like to put a pillow or a blanket or a bolster underneath my sit bones just to lift up my hips slightly because I am quite tight in the hips. So if that's you, just grab yourself a pillow. Otherwise, just come into a comfortable seat. Rest your palms facing up and close down your eyes. We'll begin our practice today by taking a deep breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale deeply through the nose. Let it out with a big sigh through the mouth. Beautiful. Start to settle into the breath now, feeling the belly rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale. Quite normal that you tend to breathe into your chest. So see if you can really start to focus the breath down into the belly. If it's helpful, maybe taking two hands on your abdomen and just feeling the breath flow in and out through the nose. Take 5 deep breaths here, just in your own time, keeping the eyes closed. And once you've finished your 5 breaths, gently float your hands to your heart center, pressing your thumbs to your sternum. Take a gentle tug of the chin to the chest. Keep the eyes closed. And if it serves you today, call to mind an intention for your practice. Feel that intention gently rise towards your heart center as you breathe deeply, filling up that heart space. And let it go with a sigh out of the mouth. Beautiful. Gently flutter your eyes open, release the hands. Remove anything from underneath you. And we're going to come into an extended child's pose. So I like to start my classes like this usually just because it's a really beautiful way to open up the body. Depending on the time of the day, you might have just woken up. So it's just a really nice way just to stretch out the body. Really tiptoe the fingers away from you and press the hands into the mat. Take a deep inhale in through the nose and let it out with a sigh through the mouth. Allow the forehead to rest onto the mat and maybe just gently rock the forehead from side to side. We'll just be here for 3 more deep breaths. Really feeling the back of the body expand as you inhale. And for these last few breaths, you can let the exhale out of the mouth. And I just really encourage you to let go of anything that you've been holding on to today. Any emotions, any frustrations, maybe let them out with that final sigh through the mouth. Beautiful. Start to tiptoe the fingers back underneath the body. I'm going to turn myself around, but you stay where you are. And we'll just start to gently rock out the wrist. So rocking the wrist from side to side. Maybe coming forwards and backwards. Just warming up the wrist because we are going to be a little bit on our hands today. Beautiful. Keeping the sit bones where they are. Tiptoe the fingers forwards. Keep the sit bones high and reach the arms forwards. This time we're not going to press the forehead to the mat. We're going to start to take the chin to the mat. So this is mountain heart pose. Sit bones high. Chest is being encouraged down towards the mat. Keep breathing in through the nose. Last full breath. And then gently and slowly bring yourself back to tabletop. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Take the knees underneath the hips if they're not there already. And then tuck the toes. We're just going to start to lift off the knees, while at the same time pressing into the hands. So we're going to stay here for a full breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. One more full breath. And as you exhale, drop your knees. Untuck the toes. Arch the back and look up towards the sky. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, roll the spine. Tuck the toes and lift the knees. So really expanding along the back of the body. One full breath. Exhale, drop the knees. Untuck the toes. Inhale, look up towards the sky or the ceiling. Exhale, roll the spine. Tuck the toes. One full breath. Exhale, drop the knees, look towards the ceiling or the sky. And this time as we roll the back, we're arching through the spine, looking towards the navel, tuck the toes and send the hips back into a downward facing dog. Take any movements you need in this downward facing dog, especially if you've just woken up. You just lift up one leg, you can bend the knees. Just do anything that feels good in the body. And then we're going to come into a couple of flows. So come into stillness, press your hands into the mat, take an inhale. Exhale, roll the spine. Come into plank. Inhale here. And then exhale, press through the hands, sit the hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, roll back to plank. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. 3 more times. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last 2. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last 1. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. Taking the weight onto the right foot. Gently lift up the left leg. Flex the toes, stay here, or option to bend that left knee and open up the hip. 3-legged dog, keep breathing. Inhale, straighten the leg, and then exhale, bend the knee. Coming into plank, knee to the chest. Pause here, and then inhale back to 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest. Pause for a moment and then step that foot in between the hands. We're going to come into a high lunge. So there's an option here if you want to drop that back knee, feel free to. Otherwise, reach up the arms into a high lunge. Sink the hips low and really send energy out through that back heel. We're going to start to flow here. So inhale, looking up. Exhale, start to float the hands forward into an arrowhead. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, moving with control, moving with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale back to arrowhead. Interlace the fingers behind the back. We're going to start to open up the chest and at the same time sending the hands away from you. Spread the toes of the front foot wide. And then take an inhale. Exhale, sink down a little bit deeper over that front leg. Keep sending that energy out through the back heel. And then gently release the right hand, coming into the inside of the left foot. And then reach up that left arm, coming into a twist. So again, you can always drop that back knee if you need to. Otherwise, keep the breath deep into the belly. This is going to help keep your focus. It's going to help really bring you into your body. One more full breath. And then exhale, drop that left hand to the inside of the left foot. Gently start to tiptoe that left foot to the edge of the mat. And then we're going to take the hands in front of the foot. So just gently tiptoe them in front. This is coming into quite a deep hip opener. Again, you can drop that knee if you need to. This might be where you stay. If you want to go a little bit deeper, take that left hand to the inside of the left thigh and start to gently open up the chest towards the sky. Keep breathing, and maybe you can gently drop that back leg and then catch the foot coming into a really beautiful twist. Again, it's early days in the practice, so if you're not feeling warm enough to do this, just stay where you are. Otherwise, notice if the breath has moved into the chest, can you move it back into the belly? Just being present and mindful with where the breath goes when we start to exert ourselves. One more full breath. Release that back foot if it's been taken with the hand. Come back into that twist. Release the hands back onto the mat and gently start to tiptoe that left foot back to the center line of the body. Press the hands on the mat. Gently come back into plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the knees or come through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, bend the knees, roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. Let's take a deep cleansing breath here in downward facing dog. In through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Beautiful. We're going to come onto the second side. So this time taking the weight into the left foot. Reach up the right leg. Bend the right knee and start to look underneath the left shoulder. Keep breathing. Really sending that heel down on the supporting leg and really lifting up the knees so you're opening up the chest. One more full breath. It should feel good. If it doesn't, just gently bring yourself back to downward facing dog. Otherwise, we're going to straighten up that right leg. Flex the toes, take an inhale. Exhale, bring the knee to the chest, roll into plank. Inhale back to downward facing dog, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to the chest. Press that foot in between the hands. And again, we're going to come up into a high lunge. Option to drop that knee if you need to. Otherwise, take a full breath in through the nose. Maybe exhale out through the mouth. Sink into the hips and just get ready to come into that arrowhead on the other side. Sorry, I've just fixed my hair so it doesn't go in my face. And we'll inhale, reach up the arms. Exhale, float to arrowhead, body down. Inhale, reach up. Moving with control, moving with the breath. Exhale. Two more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Readjust the feet if you need to. Spread the toes wide. Interlace the hands behind your back. Inhale, open up the chest. And then again, exhale, we're going to fold forwards. If this is feeling like it's too much for the supporting leg, just gently bend that knee. Front leg is bent. If your back leg is lifted, remember, send the energy out through that back heel. Keep breathing. And then gently and slowly release the hands either side of that right foot. Start to tiptoe that right foot to the outer edge of the mat. And again, this might be where you stay. Option to drop that knee if you need to for more of a restorative pose. Otherwise, if you want to come into the full variation, taking that left hand to the inside of the right foot And then gently opening up the right arm. If you are coming into the full variation, just take a moment in this pose first, just to open the chest, activate the legs. And then you can drop down that back knee and start to catch the back foot. Maybe this time reaching up the arm. Again, this is quite an intense stretch, especially in the front of the leg, so just be really gentle with the body. Just stay where you need to stay, and we'll just be here for 2 more full breaths. Noticing if the breath has moved to the chest, can you bring it back down into the belly? Full deep breaths. If you've taken that back foot, now's the time to gently release it. Bring your hands back down onto the mat, really slowly and gently start to tiptoe that right foot back to the center line of the body. We'll take the hands either side of the foot, tuck the back toes, come into a plank, option to drop the knees or come through a full chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, bend the knees, all roll over the toes. Downward facing dog. Let's take a full cleansing breath here in downward facing dog. In through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, come high up into the toes. Bend the knees, look forwards. Step or jump to the top of the mat and take the feet about a hip width distance apart. We're going to come into a chair pose. So inhale, reach up the arms about shoulder height. Spread the toes wide and start to sink back onto the heels. Drop the toes back onto the mat and then sit into the hips. We're going to stay here for 3 deep belly breaths. Breathing deeply in through the nose. Inhale and then gently come up onto the toes, just lifting the heels, keeping the knees bent. 3 full breaths here. Drop the knees down. Inhale, reach up the arms, straighten the legs. Bring the hands together through heart center. Release the arms in front, Tadasana. Take a full breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Coming into chair pose again. Inhale, reaching up the arms, sinking back the heels. This time we're going to press the palms together and we're going to come into a twist. So we're going to come into a twist onto the left leg. Gently lift up the right elbow and then twist over to the left side. Keep pressing the palms together and just notice if your knees start to try and knock in or flare out. Can you bring them gently together? Keep breathing. 2 more full breaths. And then inhale, come back to the center. Straighten the legs. Draw the palms through heart center. And then we'll come to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms through heart center. This time we're going to the other side. So left elbow onto right thigh. Keep breathing. 2 more full breaths. And inhale, bring yourself back to the center. Reach up the arms, keep the legs bent, and then we're going to float forwards. Press back into a plank. Take a moment here, align yourself in plank, and either come through a flow or come straight into downward facing dog. If you're coming through a flow, moving through chaturanga, inhale to upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Let's just drop down quickly to a child's pose just to reset the body. Reach the arms forward, press the chest into the mat. Gently rock the hips from side to side. Full breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Press into the hands. Take the hands underneath the shoulders again, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Taking the weight onto the right foot, reach up the left leg. Inhale here and then exhale, bend the knee to the chest again, but this time lightly step the foot down. Inhale, reach up. This time we're going to come into a twist, so we're going to open in front of the supporting leg, so you should have the left leg in front. Take an inhale, look up slightly, and then exhale, open up into a twist. So it should be left arm back, right arm forward. Maybe take the gaze along that back arm. Gently opening up the chest, keeping the breath in the belly. 2 more full breaths. Inhale, reach back up. And then exhale, float the hands either side of the foot. Come through a flow. We'll come straight into downward facing dog. Once you get to downward facing dog, take a full breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, bend the knee to the chest. Step that foot in between the hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink the hips. And this time we're going to open up to the other side. Again, keep the breath deep. We'll be here for 2 deep breaths. Inhale, back to standing. Exhale, float forwards, coming through a flow. And this will be our last flow of the class. So this time, instead of coming to downward facing dog, press straight back into child's pose. Full deep breath through the nose, out through the mouth. Coming up into tabletop, taking the knees underneath the hips. Reach up the left leg, bend the left knee and take the left ankle towards the right wrist, coming into pigeon pose. Once you're there, just align the hips. Should be feeling this in the sit, in the glute, so the left glute, and then we're going to gently and slowly start to tiptoe the body down over that front leg. Close down the eyes and breathe deeply in through the nose. One more full breath. And then gently tiptoe those hands back either side of the leg. Tuck the back foot. Gently and slowly bring yourself back to tabletop. Rock out the body from side to side. And then when you're ready, come into the other side. So right leg lifted. Exhale, right ankle towards left wrist. And again. Sink those hips down, start to move forwards and lay the body down over the mat or over that front leg. Keep the breath deep into the belly. Keep breathing. 2 more full breaths. And then gently and slowly bring yourself back to the center. Take the hands either side of that front leg. Tuck the toes. Come back into tabletop. Swing yourself around into a comfortable seat. Sitting on the sit bones. And we're just going to come into a simple twist. So if you know that you're quite tight in the hips, I would recommend extending out the left leg. Otherwise, we're going to keep both legs bent. I'm going to take the right foot around the left, coming into a seated figure 4. Just making sure that your both sit bones are on the mat. If they're not, I would recommend just popping that left leg forwards. Otherwise, take an inhale, reach up the arms, and then exhale, left elbow onto the right thigh. Come into a twist. Take a full breath here in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. One more time in through the nose. And then exhale out through the mouth. Bring yourself back to the center. Press the palms together, thumbs to the sternum. Take a moment, take an inhale. Exhale, release the hands either side of the body. Sit back onto the sit bones and just gently switch the legs. Obviously, if your leg has been extended, just bring it back to that variation. Otherwise, we'll take the other side, we'll reach up the arms. This time it's the right elbow onto the left thigh. Coming into that twist, keep breath deep. Two more full breaths. Remembering you should feel the belly rise as you inhale. And then bring yourself back to the center. Again, press the hands together, thumbs to the sternum. Take a moment, full breath. Release the hands, release the legs, and just straighten out the legs in front of you. Just tap them out. And we're going to come down just to lying on our backs. So feet facing forwards, just laying down. And maybe just keep that pillow close by. Release the legs out wide. Release the arms out wide. And then we're going to press the soles of the feet together, coming into Uttanasana. Option to stay here, or you can come up onto the elbows, tucking the elbows underneath the body. Coming into a slight chest opener. This is where you can use the pillow if you'd like to, just to slide underneath the body and just open up the chest. Once you get comfortable, take a full breath in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. One more time in through the nose. Let it out through the mouth. Release the shoulders from underneath you. Relax the hands either side of the body. Release the legs. Close down the eyes. Let's take one more collective breath all together in through the nose. Let it out with a big sigh through the mouth. This is the end of the class. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to stay here longer. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today.